Welcome to The Real by Let's Talk. Tonight is Monday night. On every Monday night, we do our review show, and I am excited. Today is a very, very good day for me. Uh, After the show, I have something very, very dear to me happening. So, for those that don't know, I'm a big Miami Hurricane fan, and we are in the national championship. So, that's why we're doing the show a little early tonight. But tonight, we have the whole gang here. Remember to like, share, subscribe. That's the best way to support the channel. Yes, Deborah Amons, we're here. We're ready to give our opinion on this episode. We'd like you to give us your opinion. Be intrigued. One of the things that Dwayne said to me on Friday, and why I am so happy, is even though we have our thoughts about it, we know that sometimes we may be in the minority about the show, and a lot of people got thoughts. So, as usual, we are capping up this season of Power Book 4 Force. This is the last show ever that we will be doing on Power 4 Force because this was the series finale. Um, I'm gonna just give my thoughts. The series finale for me was very anticlimactic. It wasn't what I expected. I had put after episode 8, I had put a lot of expectation that okay, they're gonna go out with a bang, and I was disappointed. Um, Disappointed to the point where I told Keisha and Dwayne that I felt as though I was betrayed. I felt it was trash. I felt as though that this episode made me feel like we should have never done any review show for anything, including The Shy, because I felt upset. I feel like as a consumer, someone who supports black cinema, that we have a bar that we have to set. And I just feel like the storytelling was bad. Uh, Deborah, you're gonna be part of our show tonight, Deborah, if you don't mind. You was pleasantly surprised with Chris Loft. See, Deborah, I agree with you. If I did not know how good of an actor Chris Lofton was from, it was a series on Showtime right before COVID called Ballers. Chris Lofton was excellent in that. So the Chris Lofton that we've seen in Power, he finally was able to show who he really was. So um, with that, I agree with you. Chris Lofton did do a good job this particular week, and Dwayne, Keisha, y'all thoughts, man. I felt betrayed, but we're gonna talk about the episode, and you know,
You want to go first, what?
I'll just touch on some things. Like, you know, I'm a senior man. If God blesses me this year, I'll turn 52, and I had parents and elders and family members that poured into me, and I'm thankful for that. Right, so I'm going somewhere with this. Y'all just give me a chance. Uh, I was always taught if you don't have anything nice to say, you don't say anything at all. But I can't do that because we do this review show. And I feel like the one of the biggest qualities that we have in life is time. Like time is more valuable than money. These people freaking, and I don't want to use the word freaking, they wasted my time for 10 episodes. And then they had the audacity, the unadmitted audacity to delay this finale and put a week in between there to give us ass cheeks. That's what they gave us. This was trash in a can. It's like somebody shit it in a bag and put it at my front doorstep. This is just terrible.
Well,
Go
tell
ahead,
us how you really feel.
Go ahead, Keisha.
I'm just glad it's over. I think I've been saying that since what, week 2. I can't wait till it's over. Um, it, it didn't. It's more questions than answers. There was no
Thank you.
continuity. The story was all over the place. Um,
Read.
Like this war that didn't happen.
Reek came in with 2 men that we never even seen before and
Reek
saved
is
the
a
day.
sharpshooter.
Yeah, he didn't learn how to
Deborah,
shoot.
don't pay us no mind. We know we're rough.
He a sharpshooter. Like now, Quentin, did you go back and watch it? Did Miguel get shot in the head or in the upper body area, and they pulled the bullet out his leg?
He did get shot in the upper body. It
He
wasn't a
did.
leg.
It wasn't his leg.
And where was D-Mac? Like I expected him to be really prominent in this episode, considering it was his father who died.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna need him. I'm gonna need them to put him in acting classes.
Well,
I was giving him a chance. It was absolutely horrid. It was horrid.
about an
And why
hour
was
ago,
Vicky Gennard alive? I just was like,
right.
I just couldn't understand anything that was happening.
No, it was terrible.
So,
Who
Dwayne,
was Shotzi's showstopper? I just wasn't understanding anything that was going on.
Marissa Shields?
I walked away with more questions than answers.
Yeah. So about an hour ago, I was speaking to a friend of mine, so I can't take credit for this. I'm speaking to a friend of mine that told me they stopped watching after episode 3 this year. And she proceeded to say to me, the series had the right name and force, because it felt like they were forcing you to watch this garbage.
Mm.
And
I mean, I don't.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, y'all, you guys, I got some comments I'm going to read up here real quick. They were more concerned about setting up the next series than concluding this. Yes, Dexter, you're right. And that was the issue that a lot of people had. Like, yes, we will. Those of us that have been watching Power since day one, as everybody says, the OG Power, yes, we will be intrigued with the legacy. We were already going to be intrigued with the Tommy phone call with Tariq. They had that set up. So we knew it was going to happen eventually. However, when you talk about closing a chapter on one series and setting up for the next, they didn't really close this chapter properly. And then they did this symbolic scene on the rooftop where Tommy was taking a victory lap as being the king of Chicago. But is he? It's just too many things. And I know that, sometimes we don't want to take and say life don't imitate art, which in reality it does. It just was not believable at some point. Mexican cartels working together, that's not believable. That's not believable at all. Yes, Deborah, you're right. Where was Jannard at during the shootout? Where was he hiding at? They went to the lumber yard, and the only person that almost got killed at the lumber yard was Tommy. So they never got the drop on Jannard. Yeah. They played us with the ghost stuff. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, they're gonna continue playing us with Amari Harwood. That is something that the Power Universe does to keep the fans when people want to leave. They watch social media and they view the comments that people say, and they'll throw it out there. Even the actors play on it that Ghost may be alive, or you ain't seen the end of Ghost.
You know what really bothered me? Where was Brad?
Yeah.
Where was Effie? Like, who was these shooters that Tariq all of a sudden had?
These two?
Yeah. Who are they?
Who are they?
Because if you remember
out there and pay him to take care of everybody.
that's a very good question, Dexter. That's a very good
Dexter say.
He said, "How could Tommy take a victory lap if Jannard's still alive?"
And Vic alive too.
Yeah. So you mean to tell me he's never avenged JP's death? All he basically did was not get the cartels to come at him and basically run CBI?
Speaking of that,
It took 4 years to avenge Liliana.
right. So somebody explain to me, because maybe I missed it, right? How was Ortega Tommy's kill? That should have been Miguel's kill. How's that Tommy's kill? I still don't understand how Che was like, here you go, this is your kill. It
And
should
then
have been Miguel's kill.
You know
okay,
what I didn't understand? It took Vic 4 seasons to find his boss.
mm,
At the very last episode,
Mm.
he should have ran off with the girl.
J.S. Smith. Look, I'm not disagreeing with you with your comment, right? Those shooters Tariq had were Noma's brother's people, right? I'm not disagreeing with your comment.
Oh, okay.
We don't know that. See, this is what they do with force and power. They have put us in a situation where we, as consumers, got to fill in the missing pieces. We don't know where they came from. They didn't
Now,
tell us. They didn't give us no depth.
but listen, I agree. Those is those people. But think back to the end of Power Book 2 Ghost. Tariq wasn't aligned with anybody at the end. That's why him and Brayden got the hell up out of there the way they did in the car. So now y'all gonna rewrite history and say, oh, this was Noma's people helping him? There's nobody helping him. He was a man alone in this battle in the streets of New York.
Yeah, because Noma dead. Noma should be dead by this point in time.
Right. Did he not call Tommy back to New York to help him?
Yeah.
And that's why Tommy said he was calling in a favor? Like, listen.
But why
They
I would have respected it more if he called Tasha.
they set this whole thing up for legacy. Just like, and I don't mean to jump to another show, but be prepared, people, because Raising Canaan is all going to be set up for Origins. It's going to be the Origin setup. So don't think you're getting closure with all those characters on Raising Canaan, because you're not. It's going to be Breeze and Canaan and setting up for Origins. That's what it's going to be.
What's the girl name? I don't even think she on this season.
Who's that?
Just the cousin.
No, Rock. No. Jukebox will be there. Rock is not going to be there. Rock is not going to be on it. She basically the way they said it is that she has gotten killed off. Kanan killed her at the end. When we heard the gunshot, she's not going to be on the scene. Katrina Miller is not going to be there. But even with that, like even the war, to go into the lumber house when the Yardies told Tommy the correct location. What type of shootout was that? It didn't make much sense because really, okay, we seen Ashanti get shot and now D-Mac saved her like he saved her, like she saved him the episode before. And then likewise, Miguel gets shot. We see that he got shot in the upper body. All of a sudden, he's crying to get this bullet up out of his leg. And then shooters is all surrounded Tommy, and the sharpshooter Tariq comes and saved the day. It was as Dwayne eloquently said, it was forced. It was forced on us. They tried to pack everything in this one episode, and we always talk about when we do our shows, the writer's table and the editing table, it didn't line up this season. It just didn't line up this season. And I'm glad that it's over with myself. It's unfortunate
I'm glad it's over. I'm sick of the recycle stories. Like now, Tommy, that's like I can't even remember these people names. The lawyer now. What was the lawyer that was working with the cartel?
You got Mike Sandoval in his pocket,
yeah,
huh?
You got a Sandoval in your pocket. Like I just can't.
So Jay Smith, Deborah, and Dexter, tell us what y'all think outside of what we talking about. Like I said, one of the things that we do with people in the chat is we want you guys to tell us what you think and make you guys part of our review show. With us three, and I know we could be harsh. We try not to be. We really like when this week we probably talked about this episode amongst the three of us more than we ever talked about any episode because I was crushed. I was disappointed, and Dwayne literally went out his way to like tell me like, "Yo, why are you so upset? What made this episode piss you off so much? Like the whole season, it was 2 or 3 episodes with Dwayne couldn't even watch the episode.
I think it was your expectation. I think that me and Dwayne didn't have any expectation at all.
Yeah. Well, you're right, Keisha. And Deborah, you saying that now people looking at Tariq scheming to kill Tommy. Tariq seemed off. I know he didn't know nobody there but Tommy, but Tariq, he looked out of place. And I thought they would have introduced Tariq into a scene prior to the shootout. For him coming to the shootout, nobody asking questions like, who is he? I thought that was strange. Like, because people would have asked, like, yo, who is he?
And how did he know who to shoot?
Yeah.
I mean, really and truly, Tariq should have got there for the funeral.
Right. Well, here's my issue with it, right? I would have felt it more realistic, and it looked like they were setting it up in the scene. If Tariq would have been like the D-Mac, or you lost your pops, our uncle got Chicago on lock. Why don't you come to New York with me? Like, it made more sense to me that D-Mac would have went to New York, because how can Tommy go back to New York when everybody in New York think he dead? Like, everybody think he dead in New York.
Yeah.
And now he gonna go back?
Dexter said there were a few loose ends that were tied up. They spent 2 episodes saying Jannard had to be killed and now everything is okay. How did Tariq get there so fast?
He got there fast.
Exactly. And Dexter, that's one of what you're saying. I'll be honest with you. You sound like me, Keisha, and Dwayne. Because sometimes we will look at these series and be like, it don't add up, it don't make much sense. And it's like, are we looking too much into it? Are we not getting the latitude? It's just entertainment, because these don't tie up.
What you mean? No, my brother put them on the jet, just like Deborah was about to say.
Just said
the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, he put them on the jet, gave him that car service. You know what I'm saying? But they got us sitting here speculating. We got to speculate on stuff like this.
Yeah, because they steal from us, but it be after the fact.
Yeah.
Tariq coming is so late, and last year, Tariq was supposed to go to Tommy when Brayton saved him.
Yeah.
That's when that was supposed to happen. That would have been synergy. It's just like, they be like, since Courtney's not there, it's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And Robert Townsend, I thought, directed the episode, and he really typically does a good job. But I don't know, the writing and the direction was bad.
Like Dexter said,
I agree with that. That's perfect, Dexter. Dexter, that's perfect. It's true.
Hey, Deborah, you brought up The Wire. I'm about to put my brother up there on blast. Dwayne has never watched The Wire, you guys.
No,
me either. Me either.
Right, Wayne? You didn't watch it when it was out.
I didn't watch it when it was out. When we had COVID and we couldn't go outside, I watched the whole episode on HBO Max.
You never watched it, right?
No, I never watched it.
So, Deborah, I was a big Wire fan. I actually still watch it sometimes. You know how The Wire went to the port, even though the port, for those that know anything about ports, The Wire was very believable when it went to season 2 with the port. But a lot of fans back then was writing HBO saying, yo, this ain't real. So in season 3, they went back to the Barksdale story and they introduced Marlowe. So this is what the Power universe, they try to do, but they do it to the point where they make audience seem a little dumb because they make us fill in the blanks. You know, yeah, he said he did see it. Yeah, Dexter. Even with the port tied everything together with the Greeks and everything. Exactly. So I just think that one of the things we don't want to be harsh on these shows. We want black cinema to win. You guys in the chat, we watch a lot of shows. We actually watch what is that? His and Hers. We watched His and Hers. You guys. We'll probably talk about that. Dwayne and I just someone told us to watch Black Rabbit, and I had already watched Black Rabbit before. I thought Black Rabbit was very interesting. Like I said, us three we watch a lot of TV, and we always converse about good shows to
Listen,
watch.
I'm gonna watch Origins. I'm gonna watch Legacy. I'm gonna watch it because I want us to win. I was just telling Quentin today that I like the choice of young Ghost on Origins. He's a really good actor. He played a actor. He played the role of Chris in the All American on the CW. He also played the older brother that went to Vietnam when they did the Wonder Years remake. Um, and that was it. And Dexter, I feel you, but I just didn't think they had enough to tell a whole story on influence with Tate. I don't think they had enough for him to be able to do a whole story, especially when you consider what happened with Sachs and all that stuff. Like you
One of
would
the
need a Sachs, you would need a Method Man, you would need at least those two to be with Tate on that political round.
one of the things that Dwayne and Keisha we shared on Friday, and I actually shared it with both of them separately in regards to what you're saying, Dexter. We know from Power Book 2 Ghost that Mary J. Blige was getting a lot of money. She probably was getting too much money compared to these other actors that had been part of the Power universe. One of the issues that the actor that plays Miguel said in a review show, he did a show with one of the guys that does reviews. I can't remember right now, but I do watch a bunch of other stuff, so I'll plug his show, but I just can't remember it, right? He said that stars, the studio, don't have enough money to pay these actors. I kind of disagree. I mean, some of them, they might not be getting no $1 million episode like on Friends. Those actors on Friends was getting $1 million an episode, and this was in the 90s.
And
This
they
is terrible.
stole and Friends stole the storyline. Let's be
From
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
I think Mary
Living
was
single.
getting 400,000 an episode, and I'm sure Method Man was getting. I think Power Book 2, they were getting more than these other shows. When you really think about it and think about the names that was on that show.
Absolutely. And it's
Um,
crazy because when you think about what you hear behind the scenes, Mary didn't mess with anybody on the show. Like people
Yeah,
couldn't go on her trailer, they couldn't mess with her.
yeah.
so and Amari was only, I think, towards the end, he might have been getting like 250,000 an episode. So they really should have upped his ante. Um, Even though, Courtney said he was always supposed to die and all this other stuff. But
And go ahead, Keisha.
they probably should have upped his ante and closed the loop a little more. It all still felt unfinished. Like the last season of Power was trash, if you really think about it.
It
Think that
was.
influence, if they would have went down the influence role, they could, even now, when you think about what they could do with the Power legacy, Tommy has an assistant federal prosecutor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tariq got Davis in line. Tate is there. They could still parlay that into an influence type of thing where they're really dealing with something different. But when you look at it, how they do stuff is, and I hate to say this, the supporters of this show, us, the fans, the consumers, we think We think of what they can do that we would like. I particularly don't think that they understand that we like the show. We like the direction of where the show can go and the potential. I think them doing like even with Origins, we waited so long for Breeze, and it was like anticlimactic again. And like Dwayne said, they're going to be so focused on getting ready for Power Book Origins that this last season of Raising Kanan, gotta know who Breeze is, gotta know this, gotta know the dynamic of Breeze, and then he's got to introduce these two young guys who happen to be
yeah.
Ghost and Tom.
Well, you got to introduce Tosh too,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Angie.
And
And Angie.
I just think Force never got its footing from when Liliana left.
I agree.
And they didn't handle the Flynns right. Like that could have really been the story.
You know, Keisha, when you say that, I don't even think they realized the fan base was going to fall back in love with Liliana. Even though we didn't know her, she was a courier, she got cut. We didn't really know, but we remember her. And when we seen her in Chicago, we was like, okay, Tommy got an ally. And we loved her, but for some reason, they was deciding at the end of that season that she wasn't going to be no more. I totally agree with y'all. I think they destroyed the Flynn family. They destroyed that whole storyline. Tommy Flanagan, who played the father Flynn, is a very good actor. You guys know from Sons of Anarchy. Like, it was a lot there that you could have went down. It was a lot. That was a cultural thing that you could have explained. Like, let's be honest. In that underworld, Irish people ain't messing with blacks. Blacks ain't messing with Irish people, let alone Italians. So you could have really explained, and this is what makes it seem like how they made Tommy the king of Chicago. King of what Chicago? Don't do Chicago like that.
And
Like,
then like now him and Miguel is brothers. Like, come on. They should have wrapped that up early if they was gonna have him be with Maria. Because
Right.
she's family oriented. Like it wasn't like a Holly. She ain't had no family. Lakeisha ain't had nobody neither. To be with her, you was gonna have to have a relationship with her family.
Right.
So I mean, I just think and y'all know I'm a Tommy fan. I just think it's been all over the place from the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you guys in the chat a question that we've had about Tommy Joseph Sikora. We've seen Tommy for 3 seasons now with his own series. Do you guys think Tommy is a good lead actor? I don't think he is. I think this season exposed him that he's not a Batman. He's a Robin. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a lot of actors that way. And I know a lot of people don't like to admit it. One of my favorite actors, I don't think he's a great lead. He can lead, but he's not a great lead, and that's Jeffrey Wright. So I'm gonna ask you guys in the chat: do y'all think that Joseph Sikora is a good lead actor? Maria is with Kate in New York. Most likely, yes. Yeah, he is better with Ghost. Dexter, him and Ghost had it's a weird
A
chemistry.
camaraderie.
Deborah says she do think he could hold it down by himself. Okay.
I don't know. I love Tommy in the original Power. I'm questioning his acting abilities because, and he's on that Hulu show Reasonable Doubt, and I'm just like, can Joseph Sikora act, or is it? I don't know.
He's like and please, if I was talking to Quentin off this thing, he may hang up on me for the statement I'm about to make.
Oh
But
God.
like actors and actresses that we've seen before. Like Bokeem Woodbine can only play one type of role. He doesn't have range. Like me and Quentin talked about this, and a lot of people may not agree with what I'm about to say, but I agreed with Quentin when he said it. You look at a person like Clifton Powell, he could play anything. Like that man literally could play any role. And there's not a lot of actors and actresses that can do that. Like Lala Anthony. She's pigeonholed into a certain role. You
And she
know,
ain't even good at that.
right? But she's pigeonholed. Like, it, it just happens that way. You get certain actors and actresses when you see them. Like, I watched His and Hers, like we said. The minute I saw the one actor that was the newscaster's husband, I was like, oh, he gonna be shady. He ain't gonna be good.
Pablo Schreiber.
I'm sorry.
That's the name, Pablo Schreiber.
Okay, yeah, but you just knew he wasn't gonna be good because he's never a good guy at anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I
I
say
mean,
that Joseph Secor, he can't play anything else but Tommy. I hate to say it. Agreed. Amari was good.
You know what's funny, Dexter, and I know that I hated the scene, or this scene right here. I hated. Hold up, what scene was it? Not that one. Not that one. Hold up, I'm gonna show you. I hated this scene right here. I hated this scene. This scene right here pissed me off. Right, Dexter. Because it was a play on words, and Tariq brought up, legacy and all that to give us the play on words, right? But I'm gonna use the play on words to talk about what you said, Dexter. Amari is a ghost over this whole power legacy. He's a ghost over this. They can't shake him. He's the only, and you very rarely see it in shows where an actor gets killed off and their character can't get separated from the show. And I know we always talk about it because when we were all younger, when Who Shot JR, and then they did it twice, and then they did with Who Shot Bobby with the series Dallas, because that cliffhanger was so powerful and it had everybody stunned. But when you talk about a TV show, think about it. You guys brought up The Wire. The Wire was okay without Avon. People fell in love with Marlo. People started liking Mike. Some people liked Omar. People liked Prop Joe. People liked the Greeks. But when you think about a TV show, Dwayne and Keisha, correct me if I'm wrong. Do we know somebody that hovered over the show after they're no longer on there no more? That's all people keep talking about?
Ooh.
I've never seen nothing like this.
Mm.
That's all they talk about. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, Dexter. See, now you're showing your age, Dexter. Yeah, good times without James
Yeah, it
wasn't.
was a disaster.
yeah, it was a disaster. It was an
Absolutely.
absolute disaster.
And like, damn, why introduce Keith to the family? He's a football player, and then JJ trips him and ends his football career. Like, come on, man. What we doing?
Then Florida left too, so it was even worse.
Man, what are we doing?
And it's almost funny the reason when you think about back then and what that show portrayed, and then when you realize why John Amos left the show and the role that he had on the show, you really get a better understand of you know Norman Lear and his bullshit that he did with giving us good times. But for those that don't know, one thing that we do is we rate the show, and on our season finales or series finales, we rate not only the show but the season. Oh, and this is going to be hard because we got to rate the series. Um,
It ain't hard.
one being the lowest, 10 being the highest.
It ain't
Keisha,
hard.
you first.
Okay, so I will give the episode a 2. I would give the season a 3, and I will give the series a 5.
Nice.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Not for me, that's pretty good.
Yeah. 113.
That's a picky number. Say it again.
113. And the
One
reason
one
I say that is when we do these review shows, because I think it's important to try to pay attention to a lot of things. I'll rewatch episodes. I did not rewatch not one episode of this season because I wouldn't torture myself like that.
I watched it. Well, I wasn't really watching it, but it was on a second time. And then that's when I text Quentin, like, where Miguel get shot at?
Mm. Well,
Did he get shot one day?
he's still there. I'm
Mm.
gonna give the season a 4, and I'm gonna give the series a 5. It was mid. It was mid. I can't give the season no more than that. Like I said, it started out. The first season was pretty decent, but it was so much that they didn't explain, and
They
with the
left on the table.
Hyman and those that Deborah, you brought it up, and Keisha always brings it up. Knowing how Kate loved Ghost and Tommy, why did she leave Chicago to give up JP? That was so much there that they could have explained. And I understand that this is a movie about power and the drug world and all that, but sometimes those other stories, those family stories, are important to create a backdrop and an understanding of why people do what they do. We see that even with Kate struggling with her drug addiction, what she was going through. So I believe that they left so much in this series that they could have got. So I'm gonna give it a 5. Um, because it was rough. It could have been so much better. I believe, and I know that they're talking about Power Book Legacy. I believe that they could have just did Power Book Legacy from the door and had Tommy and Tariq in 2 different cities. They could have did it. They didn't even have to do 2 spinoffs. They could have been 1 spinoff. Let's see. Hold on. Now listen to reviews first, and I watch. That's why Raising Canaan was good. It was a fit. Yeah, Raising Canaan. Yeah, explaining that family dynamic, and Dexter, you and Deborah, y'all are people of a certain age like us. When you do the family show, you connect people to the era. One thing that us three loved with Raising Canaan, the first episode, was that music. That was our music. We were used to that. Was the birth of that hip hop era, early '90s. The clothes, the Timbs, if you from the Northeast era, the polo clothes, the designer clothes. So, that's why Raising Canaan was so good. They could have had Kate be. Well, Deborah, I thought Kate was a flame. I thought that's what they were going to spin.
Hey, that's
That
why
she,
she had to leave. They could have said that's why she left Chicago because she got
yes,
terminated by that black man.
yes, that would have been a perfect storyline.
They
She
could have
got
really
pregnant.
hit us with that. Like that's creative. That's something that would have been really unique.
Yeah.
But they don't do unique things.
Dwayne, even you said that. Why the hell was Kate speaking at the funeral more than JP's father? Keisha, I'm gonna show you a scene. I want you to talk about this scene. You there, right, Keisha?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm gonna show you something. I want you to tell me what you think.
We gonna win the war. We just gotta lock in. Nigga, we've been losing ever since you've been in charge. Nigga, shit went sideways fast, okay? I get it. Nigga, we just gotta regroup, okay? So I need you motherfuckers to keep your eyes on the prize.
We're already doing that. Prize is Tommy. You just lost the war.
Yeah. Say that.
Tommy!
Y'all motherfuckers can't be serious.
No, we for real alright, Jay. We never had no beef with Tommy in the first fucking place to begin with. He took care of that Chilo shit. Did right by us.
Is he right? SOD's never had a problem with Egan. You and your brother did. Shit over with for us. So y'all motherfuckers just gonna flip to Tommy? After all that motherfucking shit that went down? Nigga, he killed Diamond.
With a bullet meant for you, nigga.
I watched that shit. You fucked up, Jay. You ain't the leader of shit.
Nigga, don't do that. Don't do it.
Look
Diamond
at
will be
Smurf.
fucking embarrassed, nigga. Save a bullet, bro. Death worthy of a coward. We're laying at his feet.
Man, Smurf.
Keisha, why Smurf was yelling like that?
Ridiculous. You ain't bad. You ain't nothing. I don't
Man,
know. It was
The
I'm
way
it
why
was
tired
a
of
yelling?
wasted monologue.
I'm tired of people pulling on people and not pulling the trigger.
But you know what's funny is those guys were all smart. They should have been realized, like, yo, we ain't got no beef with Tommy. Tommy been letting us eat. Like since he came around, we all been eating. Which it's just for me, and not to reiterate, but it was just so much there, and Tommy would have never been able to go to a major city in America and run no city without more pushback.
And Jannard, whether you liked him or not, he was absolutely right to not like Tommy. Like he ran that gang for 15 years while Diamond was gone. How y'all just go and push him out?
Yeah, Smurf ain't make no sense, Deborah. Smurf always up at scenes and he just brings no redeeming qualities to life. Like Smurf is just in the way, man. Like he was
They
supposed to get
didn't.
dropped off a long
What I
time
could
ago.
say with this one, this season, or this show of Power, the other Powers, they would bring in some really, really good actors. They might only be in this at one episode. It was
Yes,
less of that in this one.
yes,
It was
you
less
were
of that.
right. Like I looked at Power Book 2, I laughed, but you know, Monet's son, he was funny. He was comic relief every time he was on the scene. Freaky Zeke. I
Hmm.
mean, we didn't even have a Freaky Zeke in for us. Like, who was our Freaky Zeke? And then they really messed up the Vic Flynn character. There's so much more they could have did with him, man. There was so much more they could have did with him. You know,
I hate how they did the Flynn family. I
da,
just think that was a wasted opportunity.
da, da. Yeah, man. But hey, man, we gave this show almost an hour of our time, and we shouldn't have gave it an hour of our time the first time. But this
Yeah.
is what we do. The three of us love each other. We love talking about it. Yeah, I really appreciate, Dexter and Deborah, and I think the other one was SJ. I appreciate y'all, man. Like, thank you for rocking with us on this episode for real. And maybe y'all give us some ratings? Did they throw some ratings up on the
They do some,
screen?
yeah, Deborah threw a rating up, and also we gonna be doing another review show. I'm gonna do a show next week. I'm gonna commit to doing a review show next week. I don't know what I'm gonna review, but I'm gonna do a review show next week, next Monday. It'll probably be his and hers. We'll rock out with that or
Yeah, we need
something
to.
else. But we're gonna do something before the
We could
shy
do
come.
Rick.
We could do Rip. Hope Deborah appreciate the kind words. We really do. We appreciate that.
I know, but Deborah, I know we was a little harsh. Like you said, we was rough. I apologize for being a little rough, but we want the best of these shows, man. We want the best of these shows.
I'm having a problem when the BT Plus shows is better than Stars.
Right.
Oh
So,
yeah, you guys. We watch Family Business, and we all think Family Business is corny, but it has an addicted to it. So if you watch Family Business from the first episode, you're gonna say it's corny, but you're gonna keep watching it. It's
well, listen,
addictive. It's
I'm gonna
corny
say
though.
this, man, and I'm not gonna. I don't plead like I don't plead with people, but I'm gonna say this: give the Nowhere Man a chance. I watched the first episode. I like it. It's different because it's based out of South Africa. Give it a chance. Give it a chance, man.
Yeah. Deborah, you're gonna be waiting till 2030 for P Valley.
Yeah,
Right now, what's going on in P Valley, as y'all know, the young lady from Brownstone, what is Brownstone? Yeah, they were in that lawsuit. She lost the lawsuit. So the original creator of Peastone, who says she's the original creator, they're having problems because even though she won her side of the lawsuit, a lot of these studios don't like that type of extra drama going on. So P
You can
Valley,
hang it up.
yeah, so P Valley was supposed to come on, I think this year, 2026, but it may not even come on. I mean, it it started out, y'all know P Valley was Keisha's show. He loved it. And think about it. They're only season 3 or season 2. And they started
It's been too long. It's been too long.
yeah. And it's funny because I actually watched a show last night on Prime. And the first season of this show was 2016. And they just bought the second season because the dude got kidnapped. In the show he got kidnapped and COVID, all that stuff, the money, and they decided to bring the show back where he was kidnapped for 7 years. But anyway, you guys really, like Dwayne said, we can't thank you guys enough for supporting what we do with our review shows and everything. And we'll see you guys next week. We're gonna try to do a show next week. We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do it on. We'll do it next Monday. Till then, you guys take care and have a great night.
Have a good night.